Hey, welcome back to another episode of World of Horror. Depending on how, if I unlock, like I said at the end of the last episode, if I unlock the challenge mode I want to do, depends on if this is going to be the last one for a while or if I do one more. I did not want to do the quick game, so let's go ahead and exit out. Got on rails, I guess. Clicked the wrong thing, I guess. Alright, let's try this again. Customize playthrough. Continue. Randomized. Yeah. Strange happenings in the town. We're gonna go for Mimi. We're gonna go with the Hunted by the Cult. Let's see. Timeline A is fine. Oh yeah, the difficulty's over here. Skeptic. Okay, Cultist is normal. We're gonna go on True Believer difficulty. Why not? Let's see. Not gonna do endless mode. Short adventure set during the events of classic mode. So that one's probably never gonna happen, unfortunately. Unless the guy who's making the game can get around to doing it. We're going to go with the Towering Eye. Because we did Goizo. Actually, no. You know what? Let's make it interesting. Let's go with the Spider God. The terrible Spider God, that person, is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible to satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. So in this one, you can't run from combat. Stop it before it devours us all. So there's a couple reasons I like Mimi's character. Let's read this first. Hunted by the Cult. You've managed to run from them once, but the cult is tireless. Solving mysteries reduces more doom, but you get more unique combat encounters. So she starts off with something that's called Mimi's Obsession, which is minus 20% max reason. You'll find out as you play through what her obsession is. I'm not going to spoil it. She starts off with a scalpel, which is excellent because it's a weapon that's based on knowledge. Does 4 damage, speed 80, chance to hit 65. She has pretty high knowledge stat to start with, so she's already starting with a weapon that's really, really good for her, like, her move set. And the reason that that's really good is because she, especially if you continue to dump into the knowledge build, like she'll get like super proficient with that scalpel and it's just like will tear through enemies. So I'm going to get rid of the police station and go with the occult shop for downtown. Home's fine. School's fine. Still don't have that one place. We got the witch's tree. And then nothing else. Okay. So we're going to go with those. Someone has crammed your mailbox full of animal entrails. Something tells me Mimi's not really going to be that upset about that. Let's see. Grab our free experience. See what's on TV. TV host is getting a big octopus. At least that's what she claims. But there's no way. There's way too many tentacles. Ooh, did I find an empty bottle? Man. Sometimes when you open that, you can get an empty bottle. Basically what happens with it is if you go into the bathtub, and here you can get either stamina back, reasoning back, XP, or you can fill up your water bottle, and that allows you to, we're going to go with a nurse outfit. Why not? That allows you to get some stamina back So we've got trigonometry teacher, mermaids, found footage, vigil, the botanist. Let's go with the visual first. You received an official-looking letter. What does a law firm from Tokyo want from you? We regret to inform you of the passing of our client and your grand uncle. His funeral will be preceded by an overnight vigil as per the client's request. There is an address and a list of people expected to arrive. You don't recognize any of the names. Intrigued, you decide to check it out yourself. What's the worst that could happen? Well, so last time we went through with the actual ritual. This time I'm gonna mess it up on purpose. Following the directions from the letter, you slowly fight your way through the overgrown forest path. The old mansion looks like it was torn down and rebuilt many times, but where's everybody? So how does one look at a building? I'm just curious about this. How do you look at a building and know that it's been torn down and rebuilt multiple times? I mean, if it's been torn down and rebuilt and everything looks new, then it's like, oh, this looks like a brand new place. But how do you know it's been demolished and rebuilt? Explore the mansion action to unlock new locations and progress this mystery. You feel watched. I don't have the holy candles, so I'm gonna have to run away and lose some reason. It takes some time, but finally you manage to find someone. Is there another guest? You should ask what's going on in here. 4 actions on the right allow you to investigate the location and interact with. A muscular man is eyeing you as you take a step forward. You can't help but notice a deep scar running across his cheek. Old man's body's in there. Master bedroom. Go there if you want. Okay. Then we gotta explore the mansion. Corpses are strung up like macabre marionettes. We're losing a lot of reason real fast. Pressing a handkerchief to your nose, you enter the dark room. There's no way they allow your grand uncle to just lie there. What was the correct bow and clap order? Maybe the guest will know. Can we just explore? I think we'll just explore and not even. A pair is standing right next to the window. The man is muttering something to himself while his wife is observing you with unnaturally bulging eyes. You didn't get this with a letter? Here, take mine. And it's like how to do the vigil, right? Yeah. Bow, 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 clap. Well, we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to explore. We're going to say, who cares? I didn't know the guy. In the middle of the room, you see a man tied to a chair. You rush to help him. When you remove his gag, though, the man starts shouting curses and ancient prophecies. You fall onto the floor, your mind flooded with unspeakable images as the man slowly stands up, completely ignoring the chair he was seemingly tied to. You've got cult member, 1 to doom. That's actually not bad. I was afraid it would be like to reason. Which we're already having dwindling reason. We got the curious statue. +1 knowledge when held in the inventory. That's not bad. That's actually very helpful. Every family member is cautiously eyeing the smelly dishes placed on the table in the corner of the room. The guest seems strangely uninterested in the vigil. You should explore more and learn what you can find. We're going to look in the storage room. We're going to look in the wardrobe to get the meat cleaver, which we're going to just immediately sell. Because that's a strength build weapon, and we've got knowledge, and we're just going to explore. The whole building begins to shake as you enter the room. Suddenly, a stone pillar bursts from the floor where you stood just a second ago. Noticing the arcane symbols painted on the stone, you take a step closer. Touch the stone. Dexterity failure. Ugh. When you reach out to touch the stone, you're shocked at how hot the surface is. It burns your fingers. -2 stamina. Always, if you're going to go touch something, and you don't know, I mean, you wouldn't suspect it to be, but like if you're gonna go touch something that you don't know anything about, always use the back of your hand first. That's the study. Nothing in the study. Oh yeah, we gotta go find out the body's missing. Oh no, everyone's missing. Explore the mansion. You feel like you are on the brink of losing your mind. You decide to visit your parents' old friend, Father Yasugi. For some reason, I left this mansion in the middle of the night to go visit this guy. Hey kiddo, says the priest who's currently moving the boxes in and out of the church building. Could you lend me a hand? Don't overwork yourself. You only pick up the smallest boxes, but the whole thing takes more time than you expected. Afterwards, Father Yasugi invites you inside for a cup of hot tea and a home-baked cookies from one of the parishioners. You explain your situation to him. The priest listens, letting you vent all of your doubts and anxieties. +3 reason, -2 doom. You stumble upon Sotomura, furiously scratching his scar. With each motion, he gets a little deeper. With each motion, he gets. I think they turn into monsters if you don't do the ritual. See, I had to fight one guy last time, and that's because I didn't do one thing right. You know. Corridors twist and turn, trapping you in the mansion. You think you can hear the other guests somewhere, but should you risk getting lost yourself? Explore the mansion. Investigation is taking a toll on you. You start to miss some obvious leads. +4 doom. You enter a dark room and spot Hawato and his wife hugging each other. When they turn around, you scream in terror. Their bodies are slowly becoming one, and their fused faces express the same thing: rage. Take him out. As the vigil is nearing its end, the whole mansion shakes from and more until the walls start to collapse, revealing shocking truth of your whereabouts. The walls collapse, the corridors reveal alien landscape, and you can taste blood in your mouth. And a slimy appendage slowly gets closer. Voice in your head tells you what to do. We're not going to sacrifice the guests. We're going to explore. We can't explore the mansion. There's another thing we can do, right? Oh, it's because I didn't do that one thing. Right. I think if you look at the tattoo on the bottom of the guy's toe, you can do something that stops it. I don't remember exactly what it is. A voice booms in your head. Everything gets dark. When you wake up, you find yourself lying on the wet grass. The old mansion, nowhere to be seen. Standing next to you is a naked, bloated old man. You recognize the tattoo on the man's toe. It's your deceased granduncle. With a coarse voice, he explains the ritual. You try to keep up with him. You're weak and your head spins. The death toll must remain the same. 2 die and 2 survive. You feel like vomiting as the old man who has cheated death disappears behind trees. Everything gets dark. Excuse me. The man who you thought was your uncle has cheated death, making you an accessory to murder. You know the police officers won't believe you when you tell them the truth. So you do your best to forget the nightmares that was left behind. 2 experience, -2 doom, stamina, +1 day. -2 doom? I thought we got more doom, because it's usually 3, isn't it? Or maybe it's because I'm on, like, True Believer. Old gods, oh man, contaminated water. That just throws a whole big old wrench in a lot of things. There's something wrong with the tap water. It is black and oily and glistens, smelling like death. You hope it's just temporary issue. So basically now we can't use the bathtub for anything. Can't regain health in between mysteries, which really sucks. Got the key. See, if we go in here, it's just like, you can't do anything. All you can do is use bottled water. Did I get them? I didn't get the money in here, did I? No, I didn't. Wasn't really necessary for that last campaign, so that's not a big deal. Let's get on this screen. I like keeping it on this screen. We got mermaids, found footage, blood botanist, tragic tale of the trigonometry teacher. I'm gonna do mermaids. Macabre memoir of morbid mermaids. The janitor was obsessed with mermaids. He collected every scrap of the legend and about them in the school basement. Now his mind has snapped. He decided it's time to make one of his own, using unfortunate students' bodies as materials. There's one thing everyone at the school is talking about. Another girl from your area has gone missing. Could there be anything connecting all the missing people? I should investigate downtown next. Investigate the seaside location twice to complete this quest. Sometimes you can get a status from going to the seaside, if I remember correctly. That changes one of the endings. The town's docks are a mix of modern warehouse, small shops, and bars where the alternative crowd gathers. An ancient wooden temple occupies the small hill at the town center. Look for a warehouse job. Try and recruit ally. Pray at the temple. I don't remember what praying at the temple does, but I'm going to look for a warehouse job. Strength, skill, success. There's always a job for a strong person like you. Your help with moving crates and exchange recent seaside gossip with other workers. +2 funds, +5 experience. We're gonna go ahead and investigate the seaside again. The waves lazily wash upon the shore. You take a deep breath, and the fresh sea air clears your head. One reason. Nice. Wait, what? Oh, and then I immediately lose it. Isn't that just great? Maybe going crazy, but you swear something from the sea is watching you. -1 reason. Did I get the status? No, I didn't. That's strange. Let's go to the hospital and get our 4 stamina, 2 reason. Sewing kit. We'll grab a sewing kit, and then we're gonna go get our free pills. Cool. And that's some health back. It's not reason. If I remember correctly, what does the witch's tree do? I think you can get... I know you can get money from there. And then there's the occult shop. What do you got? Holy candles. +2 fund. First doll. Deals 4 to 6 damage. Costs 1 to 2 stamina. Additional magic slot. And then we've got the amulet. -10 doom. -3 reason. Price is 3. We're going to grab the holy candles. And then we're going to... Since I have no use for this anymore, we're going to sell it so the guy doesn't show up and try to, like, steal our stuff back. And what's the item we get for preparing here? Rummage through your belongings trying to find anything that will help. You finally pick up the anatomy book. Hopefully it will... Oh yeah, doesn't it give you a -2 stamina, +8 experience? You know what? I'm going to use that real quick. So that I can use this. Just so that I can level up. Anatomy class, extra damage to human enemies, which wouldn't be bad because of the occultists. Taking damage in combat grants a small amount of experience with fast learner, quick thinking, +1 dexterity. We're going to do the anatomy. And then we're going to get some reason back. And then we're going to put the anatomy book away. Or, yeah, I wouldn't know where anybody would buy this from, so can't sell it, unfortunately. We're going to get our holy candles back out just in case we run into those areas where we need to exercise them. I think there's one downtown, one in the school, and then one in the mansion. Through the dirty restaurant window, you notice a shady-looking man wearing a jacket covering his strange symbols. Covered in strange symbols. He stops in front of a house, visibly nervous before entering the house. He turns around as if he checks for unwanted followers. What could it mean? Call the police, follow the weird man, do nothing. Perception check, failure. The door is locked, but you think you can repeat the knocking pattern a suspicious man used. Nothing happens. Sometimes it's like they're just playing a D&D game. Sometimes it's something else. Asking around the neighborhood got you some results. It seems that all the girls attend the same school. Go to the school. There's a door that shouldn't be there. Yeah, we'll just go in because, like, you know, you get pulled in anyway, but you get hurt, I think. Lost in time and space, you drift to nothingness until something pulls you towards a light. The temperature abruptly drops as you shudder in the icy cold. You find yourself in the middle of a snowy wasteland. A sudden gust flings you to your knees. You inhale deeply, feeling your chest tighten and ache. Your fingers and ears are already numb and freezing. You have to move. Check the icy coast. Perception, of course. Countless corpses of a long-gone tribe are encased in ice. Their eyes follow you, +5 doom. I don't know if I really need to get the -2 strength. I mean, there's certain, like, you know, perception checks that might help with, but, like, I don't think I have the money to get it fixed right now. So we're just going to continue on. She said she would do everything to be with you, even if it meant cheating death itself. It's the stalker girl, who also, I think, a vampire. Now, how could you miss every single one? Alright. Got the occult diary. Oh, good. -3 doom. Dang, your doom's already really high, isn't it? You find a notebook containing handwritten and detailed notes about the swimming club itself and mermaids. I'm going to use my painkillers. Travel to the morbid school. A nauseating stench stops you. Someone has scattered rotten fish guts everywhere and hung up countless fish heads. You cover your mouth as you slowly retreat. A vast flock of seagulls outside viciously attack the windows. -1 to everything. Whoever the kidnapper may be, they seem to be really obsessed about mermaids. Inside the science lab, you find a plan of the town's sewer system. Someone has marked a path leading from the sea directly to the school building. You're pleasantly surprised to meet your old friend while waiting for the train. She undoubtedly changed a lot since you've last seen her. These days, she's moderating a web forum dedicated to the paranormal. Maybe she knows something? Chat. Charisma check, success. In between conspiracy theories and Bigfoot sightings, you hear a worrying rumor about an old god slowly awakening to rule the earth once again. Could this be the reason for the recent horrific events? +5 experience, -1 reason. Gosh, that doom is starting to really... Sometimes this works. I don't know what it is, but if you boop the dog's nose, sometimes it will literally remove all of your doom. I don't know why or how, but it does. You know what? We're gonna... Oh, man, I don't have anything to sell. I was gonna say that getting the compass one is actually really good for getting experience fast, because every time you do an area, like investigate an area, you get experience. So we're just gonna leave without buying anything. I forgot to read what that said. Stop right there. You hear a voice coming from behind you. You won't destroy my life's work. You've got the obsessed, man. Of course, he had to get one hit in, didn't he? Come on, dude. You compare the sewer plan with the school map, and it suddenly dawns on you. The school basement. It must be the place where the kidnapper is keeping the missing swimmers. You enter the kitchen, and even though it's abandoned and the lights are off, something is cooking in a large pot. You don't like the smell of it. Look for first aid. Cool. Knowledge check success. You find a first aid kit next to the storage cabinet. Quickly bandage yourself up and leave the kitchen, +2 stamina. That's not really going to help us much, but okay. Now turning back now. God, let something is alright. You burst through the door to the janitorial closet, but it's already too late. The last missing girl is lying on a dirty mattress. Upon her torso, at least, or her upper torso at least, a tail of a fish has been crudely sewn in place of her legs. She was too weak and died. You hear the mad janitor say. He looks up at you, looks up and down. Maybe you'll do. Prepare for yourself. Not giving up after the previous failure, the obsessed janitor has found another body to experiment on. You. It's like Tusk, but with mermaids. Let's see. Isn't there something I can do? I can open the grate, which I'll probably get killed if I try to do that. I'm just gonna topple a lamp. A spark from the broken bulb should set the highly flammable cleaning fluids on fire. It instantly ends it. I got some burns from that. But, you know, that fight would have taken way too much. Suddenly, the mutilated girl moans quietly and twitches, the fishtail causing a lamp to fall and break, igniting the chemicals. Mad janitor catches fire and starts screaming terribly. You try to avoid him as he thrashes around the room, setting everything on fire. Thick smoke, and a smell of burning flesh makes you feel weak. You are rescued. We don't need no education. You are rescued by the firemen trying to contain the fire. No trace of the mad janitor is found, and no one believes your story, but you will sleep a little bit better tonight knowing that the other students are safe. School fire, new town status. I think that means the school is burnt down and we can't go to the school anymore. 30 experience, 15 experience, 2 doom minus, +1 each. And we got local scientists are baffled. An unpredictable aura-like event has bathed the entire town in an unnaturally green glow, which means reason cost for all spells are increased by 1. Well, I don't use spells that often in this game because I don't ever think it's really worth what it's cost. Got the key. Got our faces all burnt up. See if I can... Oh, I know where I can go to get some money, because I would like to get that taken care of, because I don't want to take more damage, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. I've got 3 things left. I'm already at 50% doom, and, like, stuff's not happening very well. How does this one work, though, if the town's taken care of? I'm curious. 2B used to be one of the most outstanding classes in the school, at least before their teacher's disappearance. Her replacement glides through the school, entrancing all those around her with her soft voice and calming, emotionless eyes. Now she stands at the front of the class, scribbling occult symbols in chalk and hissing lessons about the old gods. The children no longer play, but sit in their seats until dark, chanting along, learning of the Eldritch Masters and preparing to serve them. Isn't this already burnt down? I don't know. That's weird. We're gonna go to the witch's tree. Wish for money. And now I'm fearful. Lose one region at the start of... Oh my god. I mean, it was kind of worth it, honestly. Hopefully I still have enough to, like, treat my burns. The emergency department is crowded as directed, a direct result of the weird things happening in your town. You finally ask the doctor for... you finally are asked to the doctor's office, how can I help you today? Treat my burn, and if you can, treat my frostbite too. Nice. Nothing happens with that, but we get extra experience for discarding, which means we've got enough to level up. First aid. Defeating an enemy regains 2 reason. That's actually not bad. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna go with stamina. We might be able to pull this one out now. Following a rumor, you visit the house of the schoolgirl who acted really strange in class. The girl's parents are sitting crying in the living room and fearfully point upstairs. When you stop by home to pick up your lunch, you find a pile of letters in the mailbox. Read them. Oh god. What's that? You've attracted the attention of something truly evil. She's sitting in her bedroom in a bloodstained uniform, a dead rat lying in her hands. Asked why she killed it, she just grins. While examining the ransacked room of your recently deceased friend, you discover a half-finished painting of a face hidden in the shadow. Something evil is getting closer. This is not good. Travel to the village. You had no idea that the funeral you had been invited to would end with the guests slashing their hands to feed the deceased with their blood. You stay at the back, shocked by how grotesque it is. Suddenly the guests turn to you, you're headed in a direction. Fight your way out, talk them out of it. Follow the tradition. We're going to do this. Oh, good. Using acute anemia as your excuse, you convince the mourners to make an exception for you. Plus 10 experience. Nice. A little boy from the school has been attacked by his classmates. You find yourself in an old, unused part of the hospital. You take a deep breath. The disgusting smell of thawed remains will linger in the room. It used to be the hospital's mortuary. Your doctors determine the cause of death. You know what? I'm going to I'm going to pull the cloth off the dissection table. Charisma check failure. Before you can uncover what's hidden under the cloth, you involuntarily let out a scream and run from the mortuary in terror. -2 reason. Find him in the hospital covered in bites. Just what in the world? What with this whole summoning? What is to speak of between his sobs? Putting your hand in the hole was a bad idea. Seeing a big spider escape, you hope it wasn't poisonous, plus on injury. Now I've got a bite that I've got to take care of. It can get infected. Didn't it say I got an item? I thought it said I got an item. What the heck? Or was it just injury? I don't know. Maybe I wasn't reading that too closely, but hopefully we've got the money to get this bite taken care of too. Nice. Stable blood loss. What was that? Max stamina down or something? Yeah. I guess we really were anemic. I'm gonna sell the holy candles. Because I don't want that guy showing up being like, we're going to force you to lose a stat for money. Go to the school. Wait, why is it suddenly a dark outside? You stand by the window to take a look. Black smog emerges from the courtyard, coating everything in oily vapor. Observe the smog. Success. Sludgy vapors rise slowly upward, forming a perfect spiral. You back away from the window, surprised by the curious phenomenon, plus the 8 experience. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I'm not gonna investigate the downtown because, like, I did that last time. Faint chanting doesn't stop and no one enters or leaves the building. Investigate. Oh yeah, there's this guy. I think you just lose reason. I don't think you can do anything about this. Jump scare! You sneak through the window and skulk across the shadowy corridor. All the classrooms have emptied out. Peering into one, you spot the corpse of a teacher nailed to the chalkboard. Shaking, you approach it. You spot an odd bulge protruding from his stomach. It writhes against your finger as you probe it. Suddenly, the teacher's chest rips apart, showering the classroom with gore. From within, a child coated in meat and intestines leaps out, screeching with joy. Blood cover student. Yeah, let's try. So don't I get reason back for winning? Yeah, defeating an enemy regains 2 reason. Nine. How did I only get 1? That lied to me. As you near the gym hall, the chanting and the rhythmic drums grow louder, threatening to intoxicate you. You creak the door open and stifle a scream. The entire school is gathered around a huge portal, surrounded by black candles. From within, the bellowing of the beast being summoned echoes. The teacher stands at the front, covering in purple robes, her true form revealed. Attack the teacher. I don't think we can do anything else. Can't run. So there's nothing else we can do. So, oh yeah, what was this one? Doubles all damage dealt during this turn. Yeah, no. All we can do is, like, attack the teacher, which doesn't do a lot. Am I badly bleeding? What? You chance of losing 1 stamina with each investigation. Okay. With her dying scream, I'm gonna have to get that taken care of. With her dying scream, the teacher throws herself into the portal, dragging the children with her. Her vicious master showing no mercy. You hear it devour all of them before the connection shuts. So that's what happens if you don't go to that investigation. Children will no longer harm anyone, but their parents will weep for them. Ending B. Rewards, experience, minus doom, plus the other stuff. Fast learner gets more experience for that. Perception. Got an eye for art and detail. Yeah, we'll do the fast learner and we'll get reason back. I think I've got 1 investigation left, don't I? With more and more students going missing, the police have restricted access to the school building. Is it 1 or 2? Anything outside? Can't see anything. Well, I thought I would check. It's 2. Found footage. Botanist. We're gonna do this one. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about local folklore and legends in the nearby forest. Well, they probably just got lost. Now, on the first anniversary of their disappearance, a suspicious man started asking questions. He claims to be a private investigator hired by the parents of the students. Except the parents of your friends didn't hire him. Who is he, and what did the students discover out there? We're going to investigate the mansion twice so that we have fewer things to investigate in the woods. In the mirror, you catch the glimpse of something that you shouldn't be there, plus 2 doom. That's not the worst thing that could happen. Oh, I gotta go get that blood loss taken care of. It looks like one of the previous owners of the mansion like to read dusty tomes, each of the ceiling. You don't have much time, but maybe you could spare a minute. I think if I have high enough knowledge, I'll just get experience, right? Yes. The notes lying on the table look like the ramblings of a madman, but you see a method to their madness. +5 experience. Legend says the witch was buried alive for kidnapping and murdering 2 children. It points you into a specific direction, potentially saving you some time. Well, I'm going to the hospital because I'm bleeding badly, and hopefully I have the money it takes to get it taken care of, and it's not like 2 money. Thank goodness. That makes me a little frightened for the guy to show up and be like, hey, you got something to sell me? Watch, he'll do it like immediately. Impossible angles and seemingly moving lines make your head spin. Stare in disbelief. How is this possible? You gotta kind of blitz through this. The notes mention a village not far from your town. You decide to take a bus. Getting closer, you can't help but notice a large number of trees that have been suddenly died. What happened here? Downtown. Experts are baffled by the sudden appearance of 20 stone statues lined up in a row. Wait, hang on a second. No, I was about to say, like, hang on a second. Didn't I run away from that kid and the trigonometry teacher one? And I was like, I can't do that. I'm doing the spider one. But no, I remember now. I fought it. 20 stone statues lined up in a row. The middle of the old park. You can cast 1 spell without paying it, anything. Well, I mean, I don't have any spells. But that's basically a free thing. Everyone in the village is unsettledly friendly. An old farmer points to an old stone. The missing group suddenly started their forest trip there. Supposedly started their trip there. A friend returning from a trip to Africa has invited you to dinner. This time you've outdone This time they've outdone themselves. This is the great, real feast full of exotic meats. It's getting late, and you can't stay for long, but the host asks you if you want to take home anything. We're going to get some wine. And, of course, I have enough bottle to last a whole year, your friend says, handing you a bottle. So, 3 reason, flip the card, you get a hangover, I think. And an empty bottle, and I'm going to sell that immediately so that that guy doesn't show up. Hangover, -1 to all stats at the end of the current mystery. That's not a big deal. Hopefully we can find the place really quick. The trees overhead blocking the sun, and you begin to feel gloomy. -2 reason. Guess we're gonna have to lose that money we just got. As you glance around, you notice that more and more people are wearing strange masks, unlike anything you've seen before. As you turn to your friends for reassurance, you notice that some also wear these eerie masks. Their voices are muffled or sound muffled and distorted, and you can't shake the feeling that they're not quite themselves. The hairs on the back of your neck stand on end, and you realize something terrible is wrong. They're preparing for something. A sense of dread creeps over you as the masked people are swarming through the stores, filling their carts with food and survival equipment. You notice the goods prices have already skyrocketed. You realize you need to act fast if you want to have a chance of survival. You find a pile of human teeth lying on a nearby rock. It is said that a famous priest died on this rock. Perhaps the mysticism has steeped into it? Tap into the power. Knowledge check successful. Touching it with your hand, you feel a newfound knowledge forming in your mind. +1 spell. Skin removal. This is... deals 6 damage, costs 3 reason. What do I get? I get one reason for forgetting it. Oh, we'll just get that back. What you thought was just a discarded pile of clothes suddenly moves as it stands up. A cloud of white powder is released into the air. We've got Kinoko Gatherer. Sport. 2 to all. That's not good. Now, why did you have to miss Mimi? Don't you sometimes get a tree branch from that guy? I can't remember. Abandoned hut. Oh, thank God. We found it. We're going to peek inside this time. The rumored witch house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at a large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled one after one of the missing children. When you hear the curious sound coming from the hole, you kneel down and lean forward to see what's inside the hole. It takes a while to process what you are looking at. It's a gigantic eye staring right at you. Hypnotized, you continue to lean in, feeling weaker and weaker as a gargantuan beast lures you in, lose consciousness. At the very last moment, a suspiciously tall man grabs you by the collar. He explains he is part of a cult protecting the house and the mysterious entity below it. You've got a bigger purpose than to die here, he says before knocking you out. You wake up a few hours later on a bus heading back to your town. So we got the forest is restless. 30. I guess the forest is restless is probably like higher encounter rate. We got 45 experience, -2 doom, +1 to both of those. Dirty water. Did the water level suddenly increase? Or is the city slowly sinking? So that was just like, we could get, drenched. Okay. Well, we got blood-curdling botanist left. Bizarre Bright? I don't know. The blood-curdling botanist. Your neighbor asked you to help her husband, Shiro-san, has gone missing. She is worried it might be connected with a new fertilizer he ordered from Tokyo. Where is he? And why would he need so much fertilizer? I mean, he's a botanist, right? You've got the business card of a gardening company where the missing man was working. Maybe some of his colleagues can tell you something useful. Investigate the school location twice to get this quest. We're going to do that. You carefully enter the biology classroom. The room seems empty at first until you switch on the light. You gasp in horror. Lying in a pool of blood is one of the teachers with a fruit knife in their hand. There is a jar of formaldehyde on the nearest table. Mesmerized by the spiral patterns of the sea, creature's skin, you step over the body. Dead body and come closer. And then the voice starts. It's this guy, the forgotten specimen. -2 reason, that's not good. Take him out, take him out. We're gonna get folklore studies, and we're gonna get reason back. What's this? Lump of flesh, immediately sell it. Or discard. We can't sell it. We can only discard it. There we go. We can sell it now. Good. That should help us keep that guy from showing up. A tall woman with an unsettling face and twitchy lips stops you. I'm your new biology teacher. Could you help me move some stuff to my office? Helper. Successfully. Luck check successful. The creepy substitute teacher hands you some old books to carry. Among the mundane titles, you find one called Extinction of Mankind. You shudder, feeling the teacher's gaze on your back. 5 experience. A new yet undefined species of the cordyceps fungus, I don't know, has been observed to infect rats, taking over their bodies. Could it have the same effect on other mammals? Alright, we gotta blitz through this. You walk away from the crowd spacing. Someone bumps into you. You quickly apologize. Realize what's happening. Perception check successful. They stole your wallet. You quickly grab their arm and they drop it before disappearing in the crowd. +5 experience. You could lose money there. I was literally about to be like, oh my god. Like, I just got the money back to keep the guy from, like, showing up. Anyway, Shiro-san has always been a weirdo, but he's good at what he does. Last month, he ordered a pack of that experimental fungicide from Tokyo. I think I've seen the dispatched order for an address somewhere. The old man says, help me move this dirt and I'll look for it. Man. You wonder what kind of animal the spider caught in its web. You scare away the annoying predator and rip open the cocoon to reveal a human finger. -2 reason +1. We got a nice ring. 1 charisma, use it to gain 2 funds. Which item slot? Slot C. Do I have anything in slot C? No. Okay, yeah, the curious statue, right. The curious statue doesn't do that. So if I use this, do I lose it? I do, but I got money, so that's okay. While the dispatch order is stained with a foul-smelling liquid, you think you can make out the address, at least parts of it. The house is somewhere nearby the forest. Oh, man, we gotta do this crap again. I forgot about that. We gotta search the forest again. As you walk through the village, crops waver in the breeze, following every moment, or following your every movement. -2 reason. We're not going to make it. I don't think we're going to make it. Our reason's too low. You discover an old campsite located at the edge of a small clearing. The tent has been knocked down, and the food and utensils have been scattered everywhere. Investigate for clues. Did wolves learn how to walk on their hind legs? You have a feeling that you're being watched, and when you hear a branch snapping, you quickly turn around as there is someone standing in the trees just a few meters away. Confront the person. Success. It's just a creepy scarecrow. Relieved, you decide to leave the area just in case. 5 experience. Drooping tree branches hang over the path, framing it in a most macabre way. It's almost inspiring. Get a grip. Oh man, you quicken your pace and leave the missing path, and that's it. Well, that's it. That's how I, didn't find out what happened that night in the diner and that bathroom. That encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped, and you've been looking up. You've been locked up in an asylum. It would be comforting to accept that you are insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But drugs haven't made the horrors disappear. You perished. Reason loss. True believer. We made it pretty far, though, on hard mode. So I'm pretty okay with that. I just wish that I had actually won so that I can have unlocked that, challenge. I think you have to complete one with Mimi to get it. I might do that off screen and just have it, because I do want to do at least one more video, maybe 2, but probably just one more. You managed to solve 4 mysteries plaguing the town. You saw 4 new events, encountered 10 new enemies, and I unlocked 1 achievement. Yeah. That was that for that. Let's see if it got unlocked. If it got unlocked, great. If not, I think I'll do a campaign off screen to unlock it for the next for the next video. Continue. Yeah, it's still locked. All right. Well, I guess I'll call it here. I appreciate you watching. If you made it to this point in the video, I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.